POV tilde. Damn it, Kitten, this is all your fucking fault. Kakuzu growled in his lost temper, and he tackled the Jashinist, biting his ear. Kitten hissed in return and tried to scratch up his partner's face. How was I supposed to know the damned bitch was a witch? Kitten demanded, arching his back up as his tail puffed up in anger. Yes, I said tail, since Kitten and all the other Akatsuki members had been turned into cats. On a mission that inquired all 9 Akatsuki members, and Toby who had tagged along. A strange woman had approached them in need of help. The woman's face and body had been hidden in brown rags and only her voice was visible. Most of the members simply ignored her, but Kitten just so happened to open his mouth and not only insulted the woman, but asked Pain if he could sacrifice her. This angered the woman and she revealed herself to be a beautiful, young witch. To punish Kitten for his mouth, and the others for their rudeness, she had turned him and all the other Akatsuki into kittens. After that she sent them to a different dimension in hopes that no one would be able to help them turn back to normal. If you had just kept your damned mouth shut, this would have never happened. It is your fault that we were turned into cats and sent who knows where. Kakuzu hissed back and continued to bite Kitten. Because this wasn't the first time Kitten and Kakuzu fought. For this reason, most of the other Akatsuki members either watched in boredom or did their own thing. Toby, who seemed to grow even more childlike ever since he turned into a kitten, was trying to pounce on a cricket. Zetsu had left on Pain's orders to find shelter, and the Akatsuki leader, as well as Conan, awaited his return. The 4 others watched the 2 immortals fight in either boredom or mild interest. This is the 3rd time they've fought over this. Do you think there'll be a 4th? Kisame, the largest of the cats, asked. Itachi, who was watching Kitten and Kakuzu fight in boredom, HNED. It had been about a week since the Akatsuki had been sent into this strange, forest-like world. If it wasn't for the fact that Zetsu would catch mice, rats and once a rabbit, everyone would have probably starved to death. Well, maybe not because of their chakra, but at most they would suffer hunger pains. Still, hunger pains almost seemed better than eating alive and raw animals. Even then the Akatsuki would go hungry half the times while they got their water from small puddles that would show up in the grass. So, after a full week of hunger, thirst and nowhere warm to sleep, Kakuzu snapped for the 3rd time. The first time he snapped was when he and the others first appeared in the strange world. The second time Kakuzu snapped was a few days ago when it began to rain. With no shelter, he and the others had been caught in the cold rain, which encouraged the ninja cat to attack his idiot partner. Enough of this foolish fighting, you two, Pain demanded, hissing at the 2 fighting men. After an hour of doing nothing but waiting for Zetsu and listening to the 2 Akatsuki members fight, the orange kitten had finally snapped. Kitten and Kakuzu stopped their fighting but continued to growl at each other. Both ninja cats were stressed out and would gladly rip each other to shreds if the leader hadn't stopped them. Yet, even though their powers were non-existent in their cat forms, they knew better than to test the patience of Pain. Even Kitten, who normally didn't give a fuck, he annoyed, obeyed. Pain, we can't live like this much longer. If we don't find somewhere warm to sleep and some real food, we will die, Conan said calmly and seriously. The orange cat looked at the purple cat before nodded in acknowledgement. Yes, I know that, Conan. Let's hope that Zetsu gets back soon with good news. The Akatsuki leader replied in a tired and hopeful tone, as if God, who was taking pity on the Akatsuki members, heard him. A black and white cat came into view as it ran over to Pain and Conan. I found a safe place to live, but it's located under a nearby house. We are going to need to be careful that the humans living there won't find us, Zetsu announced once he reached the others. Everyone, besides Pain, Conan and Toby, began mumbling amongst each other about a house being nearby, but no one noticing until now. Nonetheless, they were still glad that they'd be out of the cold. A house? Fucking damn it. Why didn't anyone notice sooner? Kitten swore. While he was pretty much ignored, everyone was wondering the same thing. Good job, Zetsu. Lead us to the house. Everyone else, follow, Pain ordered. Staring at the remaining 7 Akatsuki members, being too relieved that they'd soon be out of the cold, no one, not even Kitten, argued. So, at top speed, Zetsu turned back around and ran the way he had come, running as fast as they could while in the bodies of cats. The others followed behind him. While in the bodies of cats, none of the Akatsuki members had access to their powers, even their speed seemed slower. However, that was only because the ninjas still weren't completely used to walking on 4 legs. They were still fast, just not as fast. Despite all this, the Akatsuki managed to keep most of their strength proof, and when Zetsu captured and killed the rabbit 3 times his size. Soon Zetsu led the group to a high, unjumpable fence. I dug a hole over here. Kisame, you'll need to dig a little more so you and Kakuzu will be able to fit, Zetsu said before he pushed himself under the fence. Kisame rolled his eyes but waited until everyone else, besides him and Kakuzu, were on the other side before making the hole bigger for them to fit through. Now standing on the other side, the Akatsuki saw that there really was a house standing in front of them, a big house. Well, to be fair, everything looked really big to the ninjas right now. After all, they were about 10, if not more, times shorter than they usually were. However, the house looked 2 stories at most, if there wasn't a basement. Right now it looked as if the Akatsuki were standing in a backyard. A mini playground was set up in one corner of the yard, silently hinting to the fact children lived in the house. A small, windowless shed was found in the other corner. It probably only held yard stuff, lawnmower, rake, and maybe a few other outdoor things. A small patio sat outside a door that most likely led into the back of the house. On the patio sat a few wooden chairs around a wooden table, stained to survive wet weather. The house was dark, telling the Akatsuki the humans inside were asleep. Hurry up. It's over here, Zetsu called out as he ran towards a hole on the side of the house. The others easily followed and ran into the hole, out of the cold. This is really the best you could do, Kitten asked as he looked around the dark, dry spot. The others glared at him. Kitten, for the last time, shut up. At least we are out of the cold, Kakuzu grumbled but held his anger back thanks to Pain's glare. Kitten grumbled and the conversation about their new situation soon broke out.